Hey guys, it is post-work me. I just finished uploading the predictions for this very developer update when it dropped today. And yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep uploading it, but you guys asked me to, so I did. That should be up right as I'm recording this, and then this should be up the next day. So we're just going to talk about the developer update here. I want to go through some of the perk changes and then some of the other changes along the way. I'm not terribly interested in the overhauled progression system. I really do think that it is a wonderful, wonderful thing that it is supposedly cutting the grind by 75%, because I do think Dead by Daylight's grind is absolutely monumental, and it requires you to play the game like it's basically a full-time job in order to really maximize everything, not to mention, you know, achievement hunting and, you know, everything that goes with that. And that's just like, that's not even without, you know, that's not even with like getting fun out of the game. Like, that's just a play. So I think that this is all really good. The unlocking where you just prestige all the way to prestige 3, you know, you prestige 1, everyone gets to use your unlockable at tier 1, prestige 2 and 3 all the way up, which is good. It makes use of the prestige system in a way that is actually useful. I saw a post on Twitter that this is actually mildly stolen, but tweaked a little bit to fit the game, but mildly stolen from Video Horror Society, VHS. So, you know, they obviously had a good idea, and DVD stole that and added it into their own game. So that's, you know, it's really good. You know, no more resets. You get to keep all of your add-ons and offerings for, you know, those of us with, you know, hundreds of thousands of freaking add-ons and items and offerings and all this stuff just stacked on one character. You know, it's pretty hard to justify prestiging them. Like, my Blight is fully stacked. And a couple of my other characters as well. I think my Legion has quite a few things because I used to play them quite a bit. But, you know, no longer. I can go and just prestige. The expanded prestige is alright. You know, 4, 5, and 6 is the bloody cosmetics, which is just alright, but because it's, you know, in a flowing line with the rest of the game, by just playing and spending your points, you know, you're pretty much gonna see everyone with it. You know, you don't like have to go, is prestige worth it? I don't know if it is. No. You can just do it. And then I think that this is kind of neat. The 7, 8, and 9 giving that character's unique perks as a charm. You know, hey, if you happen to prestige 9 every, you know, killer or survivor, and you go, you know what? I really like Ace in the Hole, so I'm gonna prestige 9 Ace, and I'm gonna get that perk as a charm, and all of a sudden you can just wear it around. That's kind of neat. I think that's quite neat. Excuse me. Shrine of Secrets, cool. Transitioning to the new system, you can purchase multiple versions of the perk, so you don't have to prestige anybody if you don't want to, or if you don't own the character. Those who prestige 3 before the update will receive a special prestige icon to recognize their achievement and to commemorate the perks and add-ons they lost in the process. Cool. This is like an interesting way to add some kind of legacy system or item or like notch to your account. you know, a lot of big streamers are going to have this just by default of spending all their points in one place. But like, I only have a few people at Prestige 3. I don't really care about it. It's all right. Matchmaking incentives, cool. You won't get them if crossplay is turned off, which is fine. Let's see here, gameplay updates. Yeah, this is where we can start here. Generator speeds. So, this is something that I really didn't think that they needed to do, but I'm genuinely happy with the way that they did it. Where they increased the time it takes to power a generator to 90 seconds from 80. This does a few things, right? This isn't going to hurt survivors that much. It's not going to hurt survivors really almost at all. Like 10 more seconds on a generator over the course of the game on each generator is what? Another 50 seconds? It's really, it's not as long in the grand scheme of things. It's only when things like slow down and like regression get involved that this becomes bigger. But we'll get to it once we get down there. But something like this is the only reason why this number being bigger means anything is whenever you consider things like Thanatophobia or Dying Light into the equation, as actual like slowdown perks. This will, if you, I'll talk about it more when we get down there, but suffice to say, this bigger number is going to make Thanatophobia a much more viable perk. Plus the buff to it that you'll see in a bit. Second, kicking a generator will now instantly remove 2.5% of the maximum progress. This is very neat. This baseline buff to killers, honestly, if they had just added this and none of the stuff that you're going to see here in a minute from the general killer improvements, I don't think I would be mad about it. I think that this is a stellar addition. I think this is something that people have been asking for quite a long time. And, you know, it'll allow you to, you know, if you want to defend a gen and you don't have any regression perks, you can go kick it. And then if you walk away a little bit to go look because you thought you saw a survivor, or you're pushing them away and another survivor comes by and taps it, you can kick it again for another 2.5%. And then of course 2.5% is, you know, more of the chunk of 90 seconds than it is 80 seconds by like a little tiny bit. So what is it, like 1% is just under a second, so that's gonna be right around 2 seconds of progress. You know, we're just over 2 seconds of progress from this kick of 2.5. So, you know, it's not a whole lot, but instantly is it's impactful, I think. Impactful enough to be worth it. On top of some other buffs to, you know, on kick perks added to this. It's quite nice. Alright, so let's see here. General improvements here. This whole thing reads like they're really trying to buff M1 killers without directly like buffing each killer individually. So they've reduce the time it takes to break walls and pallets by 10%, which is, you know, it's all right. It's not nothing. About, you know, just above 0.3, or I mean, just below 0.3. Mischief, please. Just below 0.3 seconds added, and somebody pointed out on Twitter in the thread I was reading, where this was announced, that this also stacks with brutal strength, so it jumps up to 30%, as well as fire up. So your brutal strength on top of this added 10% is going to make kicking pallets lightning quick, which means brutal strength might be useful on killers such as Pinhead, where you can chain somebody on one side and kick the pallet very quickly, and then get to them before they break the chains, which is kind of scary if you think about it. Generators are also kicked 10% faster, down from 2 seconds to 1.8, which is, you know, it's a very, very small thing, but you know, added brutal strength on top, it's going to be closer to 1.5 seconds as opposed to, you know, like 1.6 or 1.7. I'm not exactly sure what the math was before, but either way, it's going to be much, much quicker. This one I thought was real interesting. The reduced cooldown on basic attacks. This is basically a permanent save the best for last esque effect. I want to say that it's 2 stacks of save the best for last, just permanently. And as far as I know, that this stacks, gain a stackable 5% cooldown reduction on successful attacks per token, up to a maximum of 40%. So this 10% is stackable with, well, I mean, obviously it's permanent now, but like, it goes with the 10% or 40% from save the best for last. So with 2 tokens of save the best for last plus this, you're already halfway to what you're already at, essentially 4 tokens, which is when you start to feel it. That's kind of insane. Like, it really is. I don't know if this is necessary. And then reduce the duration of the survivor speed boost upon being hit by 10%, which is I'm gonna say combining these both together, it's gonna be very significant. But like alone, I don't think either of these was gonna make like a huge difference. But like this says, gain slightly less distance, making it difficult for them to run long distances to a safe area. So it looks like they're just trying to really like figure out a way to quench the like whole W meta, basically. In being like, okay, so we've been noticing that survivors, whenever they get a hit, or they're using sprint burst, or they're using some kind of speed perk, they're just running away. They're just running forward, right? And it wastes a disproportionate amount of time of the killers, and the killer really has to work on time management, blah, 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 blah. So just like running forward, it's ridiculous how far away they can get. So they want to kind of stamp down on that a little. So this is certainly a way to do it, but on small maps, this is going to be absolutely crushing for survivors, I think. Like this'll pay off very quickly on small maps like Coal Tower or Dead Dog, or, you know, or whatever. They can't really go anywhere. Bloodlust got buffed to 25 seconds, 35 seconds instead of 30 and 45 seconds at tier 2 and tier 3. Will we see more of tier 2? Probably not. In regular chases, if you're chasing a survivor that wants to be chased, you won't see this, most likely, because they're really good at managing pallets and making you kick them, right? What this does do is allow you to catch up to these whole W players once you get tier 2, and once you catch them, you're gonna have tier 1 already, and then you're gonna get tier 2 shortly after, and then they just lose. They can't run away anymore. Is this the way to do it? I don't think so. I don't think that Bloodlust needs to exist past tier 1, personally. I know that a lot of people don't even want tier 1 to exist, but I think that tier 1 is a necessary evil for basically Band-Aid fixing maps. Like because of maps' poor designs, I think that Bloodlust definitely puts a little bit of a Band-Aid, a little bit of a timer on the chase to give the killer the edge once, you know, a certain amount of time passes. So I don't think that, I hope that they take another look at this in the PTB after people start playing with it, and it gets, you know, it says watching closely to ensure nothing gets out of hand. I really hope that they mean that. So Borrowed Time, Decisive Strike, Dead Hard, perks of that nature help a survivor avoid certain death, leading to an extreme usage rate. Okay, so this all says survivors basically will get 5 seconds of borrowed time, and they get a 7% haste effect for 5 seconds for that duration. So it's going to like basically say, hey, chase me, the unhooker, and not this survivor. So that's good. This is an excellent thing. We've been asking for this. I've been asking for this specifically for quite a long time. Yes, please, thank you. Thank you for doing this. As one Farmer John has pointed out in the Twitter thread that announced this, this does not really address the other issue with the endurance effect after being unhooked, which is when you unhook, or you return to a hook, the borrowed time survivor will simply stand there and body block you from chasing their unhooker for an extended period of time. And you'll see in a little bit that this might be, the people who might do this might run another perk that got buffed. Obviously 5 seconds is easy to wait out, but I would really like it, like immensely, if during this 5 seconds they had no collision. Like, that sounds ridiculous, but I think that 5 seconds of no collision is a perfectly acceptable change. Also, side note, the conspicuous action, opening an exit gate, was added. Thank the Lord. No longer is there somebody that is going to, like, run up to an exit gate, open it, and then I down them, and then I pick them up, and they stun me with Decisive Strike, and they leave for free. They'll open this gate, they'll get downed, and then they'll die, because their DS will be gone. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was an extremely frustrating oversight of adding of the decisive change last time, but, you know, it's better now than never. Alright. So, the meta perk changes. For survivors, let's start with killers, I suppose, since it is on the top. Barbecue and Chili, Ruin, Pop Goes a Weasel, Corrupt, Tinkerer, Noed, Pain Res. Okay? Cool. These are all nerfs. For survivors, Dead Hard, Borrowed Time, Decisive Strike, Iron Will, Self-Care, Spine Chill. Alright, so before we go into this, I've been trolling Twitter, reading lots and lots of comments, lots of posts, and while this is not like the pulse of the community, it does definitely give you a snippet of what these people are thinking, especially Survivor players that use basically some combination of this loadout every single game. I have seen more people outcrying over the Iron Will change than the Dead Hard change or the Spine Chill change or any of the above. It's all focused on Iron Will. I don't know why, or at least that I've seen. I don't know why this perk is so handy to some people, but I guess it is. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know, but I guess we'll get into it. Also, there's no perk up here that killer players that I've seen are upset about, except for maybe Barbecue. Ruin, maybe a little bit, but everyone's like, yeah, it was absolutely insane before. It was good that it was changed. Like, I've seen a lot more than that, than people being like, my corrupt, you know. So, let's get into it. The saddest slaughter in the West right here. This perk is incredibly popular, not because it's particularly powerful, but because of the huge amount of blood points it provides. Choosing to go into a match without it massively slows your progression. I understand what they're saying, where they don't want the blood points to be a driving factor, and thus they don't want to hamstring newer players who will, quote, rely on this perk to gain progression. I understand that. However, there are essentially like blood point crackheads out there like me who just want all of the blood points. All of the blood points all of the time. We will go into a game with 3 perks and just throw, basically, to get more blood points. I know that this is true. I've met plenty of other people that do the same thing, but instead they're removing it. It is so sad, but I guess it is what it is. So the only thing that I'm wondering that they didn't really cover is, will the auras that you read, like, it doesn't really say on here. Are the auras that you read from Barbecue, are they going to be like still at 40 meters? Because there's a pretty limiting factor. If that's all it does, nobody's going to use it. I'm certainly not going to use it. It's not that good of a perk. If I'm using a perk like this, I'm probably going to use Thrilling Tremors instead of it, just because that perk's like actually useful in pinpointing where people are. Anyway, Ruin. They nerfed it from 200% to 100%. Good. Oh, and they made it so that after a survivor is killed, Ruin will automatically deactivate. I think this is a little bit too far. You can already break the perk by literally walking over and cleansing it. I don't think that this is strictly necessary, but I'm also very happy that this perk is dead. I've gone many a game without using it. I'm never going to return to it. I never wanted to return to it. I've been a pretty big advocate for this perk dying. So, good riddance. Pop Goes the Weasel is now, instead of 25% of its total progress, which is absolutely nuts in certain situations, if the killer is on a small map where the gens are pretty tightly, knit together, and they can just like move over and kick something. It's going from 2.5 default and then 20% of the current progress. So it's going to be very strong, like it says, against nearly done generators, but weak against those with a small amount of progress. I would have liked them to, instead of simply nerfing this like they did, well, not like they did, but I like the way they nerfed it. But I would have myself added a token system on top of this so that you can store up charges of Pop Goes the Weasel for later use, right? Because the biggest problem with Pop Goes the Weasel was always, it was never that, like, the 45 seconds timer or the 60-second timer. It was never that. It was that sometimes you just wouldn't have a gen to kick at the beginning of the game. And then you'd have plenty of gens to kick, you know, like 3 to 4 hooks in. But then, like, towards the end of the game, you would be, like, dying to get a hook so that you could get a pop stack. But, like, if you get a hook, the gen you want to pop is about to complete, and so it makes things really difficult. Now, obviously, it's a bit of a fringe case to, you know, mention all that stuff, but at the same time, like, I think that saying that this perk only gets used, like, an average of 3 to 4 times a game is not, it's not, like, out of the ordinary to say that. So, I like this, but I wish that they would have done a little bit to sort of give back to those who use it. Corrupt, the perk that I've never liked. Well, okay, it's not true. I liked it at one point, but then people learned how to play against it, and now I don't like it. So I think they're just adding, once a survivor enters the dying state, it deactivates. It'll still be 2 minutes. It will still be good for setup killers, but killers like fast snowball killers like Oni, like Blight, like Nurse are not going to be able to run this and see a whole lot of value. So I think that that's really good. I think that this honestly is one of the best changes in the lot, or well, nerfs. Very good. Like, very, very good. Mischief, what is your issue? I don't know what's happening. I don't know where you are, but you're doing it. You're doing it to me right now. You're scratching something and it's making me upset. Tinkerer is a popular choice for the information it provides. Yeah. High mobility, yeah. Okay. Oppressive when paired with certain regression perks. Sure, yeah. Pop Goes the Weasel and Ruin, I get it. Ruin can now only activate once per generator. Good, but with the base charges increased to 90, killers will have extra time to approach. So 70% of 90 is what? What's 9 times 7? 9 times 7 is 63. So 63 charges. Wow, that's actually like really early. Wow. That is incredibly early. They're gonna, okay, so good, but like extra time to approach is kind of an understatement. Wow. Interesting. I actually didn't realize this until I read this just now. Yeah, that's potentially making it even stronger. I mean, obviously the once per generator is it's definitely a nerf. You know, before you could regress something with like Call of Brine or Ruin or whatever, and then, you know, get another stack of Tinker and another and another and another while still protecting the same gen. It's nice. I mean, it's nice that they limited it, but wow, that's really early. Noed. This is a weird one. You can see the totem's aura over the course of 30 seconds. It increases to 24 meters instead of 4. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Like obviously sometimes your totem gets put in a place that doesn't matter if you can see it as a survivor. The killer's just gonna kill you if you get close. I really like my change better, where instead of an exposed perk, it's like, it just gives you an insane number of increased speed stats. Like, I don't know. We'll have to see. I can't tell if I like this change or not. Obviously, as a survivor, it's going to be way easier to break NOED in like endgame situations. But as I'm still not going to pick up using this. Pain res. I might actually start using this again. Removing the loud noise notification instead of exploding, the affected generator will now spark upon losing progress. The survivors will no longer scream. All of the sudden, this perk is extremely balanced. Okay, maybe not extremely balanced, but like very balanced. You don't see people anymore with the informational. It doesn't pair perfectly with DMS anymore. And because the survivors no longer scream and like knock off the gen, it doesn't essentially like stop any progression if they do scream and explode the gen. Like it doesn't stop the progression for like an additional second and a half or two. Like, this is fantastic. This is exactly what I predicted, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, good job. Big claps. Yeah. Survivor Meta perks. The time that we have all been waiting for. Oh my god. Finally. Dead Hard is dead. But is it dead? I don't know. I really don't. Yeah, we're gonna see how this plays. We're gonna have to see how this plays, because instead of a dash with iframes, it is going to be a 1 second endurance effect when activated. So the question that's been asked is, are we going to be able to see an animation? They answered yes. The other question is it going to prevent fast vaults? And instead, you know, slow the momentum of the survivor down to get medium vaults? No response that I saw. Because if it doesn't interrupt your momentum for fast vaulting, it essentially, you just use it like as close to the window as you can, and just like easiest more distance of your life. It's the same thing. Like, this is gonna be a, when we see what happens, it might be the same, or it might be way worse. I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I had a more clear, like, thank God this perk is dead, but I don't. And that's kind of frustrating, but oh well. Like, I'm sorry. The killer player in me seethes at this perk. So I want to see it perish. Decisive Strike. I always thought that Decisive Strike was fine. I didn't think that this duration needed to be reduced from 5 to 3. Oh, Decisive Strike will now deactivate once the X gates are powered. Interesting. That is going to make endgame situations much more stress-free. I don't know if this 5 to 3... No, just 3 in general. Wow. Yeah, no, I think they should regress that. I think that it should go back to 5 seconds. If they just made it so that DS deactivated once the X gates are powered, that's enough of a nerf. That doesn't, like, yeah, it doesn't need to be 3 seconds. 3 seconds is enough time for a blight to turn around and rush and kill you in a second. Like, alright, I don't know. I'm sorry, this didn't need to be nerfed this hard. Borrowed Time just makes you extend the duration of the endurance effect of unhooked survivors by 10 seconds at max, so it brings it up to the previous 15-second timer. Increase the movement speed bonus duration by 10 seconds for any survivor you unhook. Holy shit, 15 seconds, 7% buff. Wow, that's actually crazy. All right. I mean, that's actually kind of neat. That makes it like possibly worth running. I mean, I would feel more comfortable pulling this out of my survivor build now with the built-in borrowed time. But yeah, that 10 seconds of speed is very neat. Yeah. Iron Will goes from 100 to 75%, no longer is active when exhausted. Yeah, as somebody who's never used the perk basically ever, I laugh at those who rely on it heavily, and I just apologize because I don't think that it needed to go down to 75%. It just needed this clause. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, if you use this and you love this perk, I'm so sorry for your loss. I don't know what else to tell you. It shouldn't have been, but it has. Maybe they'll change it back in the PTB. We'll see. Also, the absolute neutering of self-care and the item efficiency bonus has been removed entirely. This is so sad. Like, this is gonna be like, I don't know. This is gonna be like a 28-second heal, or like a 30 or 35-second heal or something like that. It's gonna be so ridiculous. Like, like the meme about self-care before being a killer perk is like not true before, but like now it is. Like, you can't even use it in a niche like item efficiency bonus anymore. Like, it's so bad. It's such a bad perk now. Like, genuinely, just an absolute trash can of a perk. Like, that needs to be. I don't even know. This is a perk that I'm happy to see die, because it makes stealth killers impossible to play. When there are 4 of these in the lobby. No vault speed makes me sad. Spine Chill will only activate if the killer has a clear line of sight to the survivor. This will remove awkward counterplay where the killer must look away to ensure a stealthy approach. Right. That's good. That's gonna make Scratched Mirror Myers like a real thing to play now on indoor maps, so that's nice. This part doesn't really matter. Vault speed being gone is kind of sad, but I understand, because the like 15% constant vault speed with this and resilience was kind of nuts. So yeah, that's meta perks. Here's the non-meta perks. Overcharge. Along with its current effects, Overcharge will cause the kick generator's regression speed to grow from 100% to 400% over the course of 30 seconds. The survivors will want to stop this generator from regressing as soon as possible. So I've used this with Call O'Brien before, and I've got some pretty hilarious results. This is insane. This is absolutely bonkers, and I want to try it so bad with, like, I don't know. I just want to get, like, go into a test game and have somebody 99 at gen and then kick it and see how fast it takes to regress compared to Call of Brine. I just want to see that little short video and see the math on that, because this seems hilariously broken in just the best way. Going from an absolute trash perk to this is just amazing. Eruption is up from, I think it was 6 to 10, and the duration of the incapacitated is up from 15 to 25. Cool. Number increase. Alright. Unimpressive, but, you know, maybe it's worth using. Cool. Called this one dying survivors to crawl 50% slower for 15 seconds and reduce their recovery speed. Yay! Less recovery speed. It doesn't say, as far as I know, it's still an M1 perk, so I can't use it in light slug builds, which, I mean, probably for the best, but, you know, it's what it is, whatever, it's fine. Coulrophobia. Increase the speed of skill checks by 50% on top of its current effect. I want to see this in action. I really do. I really do. Really do. Everybody on Twitter was clowning this perk because they're like, yes, but my autodidact still ruins this perk. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, but if you can't hit your skill check because it's fast as all hell, then how are you going to do anything with your autodidact? Just saying. I might use this more. I mean, I already use it a lot, but I might use it more. This perk is great for confusing and sneaking up on survivors, but the basic attack requirement makes it unappealing for certain killers. Dark Devotion will now activate whenever the obsession loses a health state. Oh. So, like, maybe its owner, the Plague, will be able to use her own Dark Devotion by puking on somebody, and then all of a sudden, she'll go into stealth when she's across the map. That might be neat. I do like that, because you can then use it on, like, everyone? Yeah, everyone. Jolt has no cooldown now. Okay. So this perk is, like, insane against altruistic survivors that like to, like, go up and down. So that's neat, but its problem still lies in that its radius is very small. This is really cool. Like, this is genuinely a really cool change. Lethal Pursuer now extend the duration of all aura reading effects by 2 seconds on top of its existing effect. I don't know if that means that it's going to take the 9 seconds that you see them and move it to 11 seconds. It doesn't matter. I'm very interested in seeing, like, what I can do with this. Like, I think stuff like Lethal Pursuer Darkness Revealed, or like just combining it with just a pile of other aura reading perks, will be extremely fun and neat, because you'll just have like I'm all ears. Oh boy. Anyway, Gift of Pain. Didn't think this needed to happen. 16% action speed penalty. Holy smokes, that's a lot. 16% is insane. Wow. And this moved to 22% with 4 survivors injured. You're probably looking at this and you're probably saying, okay, but why is the increase so small, and why did they see the need to, like, buff this in such a tiny way? Well, the way the math worked before was, okay, so you had 80 seconds, and then 20% of 80 is what? 20% of 80 is like 15? No. What's 20% of 80? Calculator. Tell me, calculator. Excuse me, calculator, would you like to load? All right, here we go. 80 times 0.2 is 16, right? So for a while, everyone thought that Thanatophobia here at 20% was a 16-second addition onto a generator from the start to finish. However, the way the math worked, it was actually just a straight 20 seconds. So with the increased 90-second time and 90 charges on the totem, the generator is what I'm trying to say. 90 charges on the generator, the 22% is going to make things significantly longer. It might end up being like genuinely like maybe a 108 to 110 second generator with 4 people hurt, which means generators are going to go extremely slow against like a Thanatophobia, like Scourgehook Gift of Pain, freaking like Legion or Plague or whoever, you know, that keeps people hurt. It's gonna make things very slow. Monster Shrine has received a rework. This perk will now convert all basement hooks to Scourge hooks. Additionally, Scourge hooks will now grant 20% faster entity progression, but only if the killer is not within 24 meters. I don't know when this will be useful. Yeah, I think it's neat making Scourge hooks in the basement, but like otherwise, okay. That's all I gotta say. In addition to Calm Spirit, with Survivor's perks now. Calm Spirit's current effect, you can now open chests, cleanse, and bless totems silently, albeit at a 30% reduced speed. Perk is worthless. I want the old one back. Just like this might actually be a nerf. Just saying. Being able to see Scourge hooks is really good. Yeah, that's it. Just knowing where they are, so you can stay away from those areas, is, even if you can't break them, is just really good. It's a really good thing. That's it. Really good. This is nuts. It doesn't say if it buffs healing efficiency up to 50% as well, because if it does, holy smokes, is that like genuinely one of the strongest healing perks in the game. Like, everybody should just run this, and then all of a sudden you can use it with Circle of Healing, and then you have old Circle of Healing back. Congratulations. Otherwise, whatever. Upon being unhooked, gain the endurance effect for 80 seconds. Endurance effect is lost upon performing conspicuous action. While this is a lengthy endurance effect, any in-game progression action will cancel it prematurely, making it purely for evading the killer after being unhooked. This is definitely the ultimate, please go away from me, killer. I don't want to be hit again after you've been unhooked. And to which I say, great, but here's the problem. You can still use this to just get in the killer's face and play aggressively. I mean, I guess it's fine because you have to dedicate an entire perk slot to it for 80 seconds, which is fine. And then you still have to go mend and then heal up. But like, 80 seconds, wow, that's a long time. I don't, like, everybody's making a big fuss about this perk, about how broken it is. I don't think it's that broken. If you get in my face to take a hit so that the person that unhooked you can get away when I want to chase them, I'm going to tunnel you. There's no question about it. I don't care if you have 80 seconds of endurance effect. I don't care. I'm just gonna kill you. Lucky Break. You can recharge it by healing. Very cool. I do like this. Pharmacy. Oh, my favorite change to a survivor perk. Pharmacy used to guarantee an emergency medkit the first time you search a chest, which you'd either hope nobody takes before you need it, or hide in a far-off corner like a medkit goblin. Now, Pharmacy will activate whenever you're injured, guaranteeing an emergency medkit when you search a chest. This effect can happen multiple times in one trial. Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm definitely going to run this with Ace in the Hole and Appraisal. And No Mither. And I'm just going to make it my sole duty to loot every chest twice. And just hand out just like roided up green medkits to my team. Like, I'm just gonna hide them around the map. My team's gonna get unhooked and they're gonna be able to like go over there and heal themselves and put it back. And like I'm just gonna like litter the floor of the killer shack with just medkits after medkits after medkits. Like this is just endlessly funny to me. They're gonna like be chasing and they're gonna accidentally like look down and there's gonna be like 12 medkits. Oh, it's so stupid. Soul Survivor. In addition to hiding your aura, Soul Survivor will now increase your generator repair speed by 75% and your exit gate and hatch action speed by 50%. These effects are only active when you are the last survivor standing. Okay. Like, we had a perk that did this already, you know? It, like, who cares? It wasn't strong then. I don't think it's going to be very strong now. Like, you're going to open exit gates in 10 seconds. Combine that with wake up, and you're going to open it in, like, 4 seconds or something. Yeah, okay, cool, dude. I don't get... Like, pow, you opened it. It's done. Great. Be gone. Like, I don't understand what this perk is going to be good for other than, like, a meme once in a while. Anyway, Distortion can now regain tokens while standing in the killer's terror radius. Yes. Good. Upvote. Thumbs up. Retweet. Send it to the next, like, I'm gonna start using this perk. I don't know. I'm very not sure about this because on certain maps, like, scratch marks are already difficult to see, such as Ormond. And I think they added a sort of weirdness to the scratch marks since like a patch a while ago. That whenever like a survivor takes a tight turn or something like that, the scratch marks just don't show up sometimes. And so like if you go out a door and they take a tight turn, you just don't know which way they went because their scratch marks disappear. Like your scratch marks will be more sporadic. That makes me question. I'm very confused about that. Like this might become the best stealth perk in the game for like completely unrelated reasons to the perk. So we'll see. I think I predicted this too. To help survivors power the 3 closest generators, Deja Vu will now grant a 5% repair speed bonus to the revealed generators. I think I actually called that exactly. I think I might have set a higher repair speed bonus, but it doesn't matter. I got something right. I think I got this one right too. Beyond its current effects, No One Left Behind will grant a 7% movement speed to any survivors you unhook. Cool. I assume that's in the end game. Activates when the gates are powered rather than open. Yeah, I think I actually called this one perfectly. We've changed the way Dark Sense works. When a generator is powered, Dark Sense activates the next time the killer comes within 24 meters of you. Their aura is revealed for 10 seconds. Then it deactivates. This is really cool. I remember being completely unable to think of something to change this perk or whatever, maybe just a numerical increase, that's fine. But this is something special. This is something very cool. I'd love to see what it does to killers such as Wraith and Myers and Sadako that are undetectable for a long time. Will it still eat the Dark Sense? And then just show you nothing? Would suck, obviously, but, you know, whatever. I thought Tenacity was going to be nerfed, but this is actually a buff. Reduces your grunts of pain by 75% when in the dying state. Combined with this crawling speed, it's going to be stealthy on the ground perk. And that's boo. Boo. As somebody who loses their slugs a lot, boo. But honestly, a fine change. Who cares? That doesn't really change my mind about anything in regards to tenacity. Hope is forever in the endgame. Forever, dude. All of it. It's an interesting change. Time will tell if it is a wise one. The addition to Overzealous, I think, is up from 6 to 8. And it can be 16 if you cleanse a Hex Totem, which is neat. I like this. It's gonna suck to go against if I run a full Hex build, but neat. I'm pretty sure it still goes away if you hit them. Anyway, We're Gonna Live Forever, it also got gutted. Yeah. Boo. However, it did get a secondary effect. Whereas Barbecue, I guess, did not, unless they gave it one, and they didn't tell us what it is. While active, healing a survivor from the dying state grants them the endurance effect for 10 seconds. Secondary effect of We're Gonna Live Forever then deactivates. Actions that previously granted a token. Oh. Okay, so you'll basically get a token, and then you'll be able to give them an endurance effect for 10 seconds. Being able to grant other survivors Soul Guard is not only interesting, but quite powerful in certain situations. Huh. Yeah, no, I'm actually really interested in this perk now. Because you can use it to essentially trade. Like, they'll get up, and then they'll be get an endurance effect, and if you go down with something like Unbreakable and they get chased and hit and then like chased again, that might give you enough time to, you know, get back up. And that's pretty neat. You know, some interesting plays like that might happen. Don't like the fact that they got rid of the blood point bonus, but if the rumors are true, the grind will be reduced. We'll see though. But yeah, and that's it. I don't know when the PTB is gonna be. I assume it's gonna be, they said June, and it's June 23rd as of literally right now. So the next Tuesday is gonna be the 28th, and I assume that's when the PTB will be out. So hopefully I'll be back on a normal swing of things, and I'll be able to just like play the PTB. But yeah, so that's that. I know that there's a blood hunt coming soon too, so I'm excited to get my fill of blood points in. I'll be happy to see you guys again. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far. Go watch my other video for my predictions, and let me know how many I got right in this video, and give me your ideas on what you think that these changes should have been. Maybe you can leave that on the other video. It's up to you, but thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a great night or day or whenever you listen to this. I'll see you later in my stream. Goodbye.